and gentlemen, welcome to another segment of Lessons They Don't Teach in School. And we are still on thoughts. So this is the part 2 of our talk on thoughts. Now, in the first segment, I was telling you about how thoughts are important, and not only are they important, how thoughts affect your life, like how you think affects your life, whether you want to believe that or not, how you think affects your life. So, and I was telling the importance of that. And I was also highlighting how in the school system, primary schools, secondary schools, they don't teach students how to think. And I feel that it's something that needs to be done, because if you don't know how to think, or if you don't think properly, chances are you are not going to be all you can be. Chances are you're not going to make the best decision of your life. Chances are you're not going to be the best version of yourself, So thinking is very, very important, and being taught how to think should at least be the least thing that the secondary school system or the Nigerian education system should be able to do, to tell someone how to think, to teach them that. That's, if they don't teach you that should be what at least they should do. If they don't teach you at all, So I remember when I was in university, and they taught us this concept. The concept is called critical thinking. And when I first heard it, I was like, wow, I wish they taught me this concept in secondary school. It would have helped me a lot, But they didn't teach us about that concept in secondary school. I had to learn it from reading books and a little bit here in the university. So don't let the big name fool you, What is critical thinking? Critical thinking basically is you making decisions, by evaluating the information that's in front of you, like evaluating the information very, very well, and then you make the best decision. You think about the options in front of you, then you make the best decision, That's what critical thinking is. And this concept is not taught in secondary school, and I feel that it should be taught in secondary school, because I remember when I was in secondary school, there are many times I was endangering my future over things that don't matter. I remember trying to go over the school fence to buy bread and sardine, try to buy bread and maybe buy a plate of food, and if you were caught, you get expelled. So you have to ask yourself, if we were taught, in my case, if we were taught how to think and evaluate situations properly, chances are I will not be at that fence, And this thing goes to a lot of secondary school students that make mistakes and get expelled from school, If they were taught how to think properly, and they were taught how to evaluate information that's in front of them, evaluate their options, chances are a lot of these issues that they get expelled over will not happen. But since our students are not taught properly, right, what you now see is, this is why students get into trouble. This is why students mortgage their life. This is why the student can see, instead of him paying attention to his education, which he knows is going to make him a better person in the future, he's chasing girls, He's chasing girls and eventually gets someone pregnant, and then it becomes a whole mess, This is the reason why students will not, some of them don't read in school, they are playing, If they were taught how to think properly and taught to understand that this play you are playing will not have any positive impact on your life. You understand? And they're studying your books more than you play, is what is going to help you not only pass your exams, will help you get into university, But since they are not taught how to think from a young age, so what they are just doing is they are going on instinct, They do the things that feels good. Oh, I will chase babes because chasing babe feels good. Oh, I will play because playing feels good. So the thing that's important to them, the thing that will affect their life, is neglected simply because they are not taught how to think, how to evaluate situations, how to see the options that's in front of them, and finally say, this is what I want, not this. Chasing girls will not help me in any way, but if I do this, it can actually help me. This is the reason why students make the wrong kind of judgment, especially when they step out of school. You see it commonly in secondary school students when they graduate SS3, right? And then they're at home with their parents, and that's a very challenging period, because nobody teaches them how to handle that kind of situation. Nobody tells them how to live when they graduate from secondary school. It's like you have to figure it out for yourself. And it's during this time that these students get into trouble. It's during this time that they may turn to drugs because maybe one of their friends brought drugs and said, oh, they should try it. It's during this time that some of these guys, maybe if their parents don't have money, they can start doing some funny business to make money. It's during this time that some of them start looking at the girls in their community and start saying, oh, I want to sleep with Shalewa, oh, I want to sleep with Kalewa, all this stuff. It's during this time. It's during this time that they can engage in behaviors that can destroy their future. And I'll say it again. It is during this time that these students can engage in behavior that can destroy their future. You see, but if the school system we have teach students how to think, how to evaluate information, how to look at the option before them and make the best decision for their life, then then when they graduate from secondary school, they already know that, okay, I'm not going to take drugs because it's not good for me. They already know that, oh, I'm not going to chase local girls because it's not good for me. I'm going to focus on my lessons and my GCE exams and all that stuff. But the school system does not teach them how to think. And this problem does not stop when they graduate from secondary school. It even affects some people in adulthood. What you notice is that you see a man who was never taught how to think, who never read any book about thinking, who doesn't even observe his thinking, and here he is, he's married with kids, and then he has to now make decisions that will affect everybody. He has to think of how to come up with how to make ends meet, how to develop a business, how to make sure that his family have the best thing. And then because his thinking is bad, the whole family becomes a mess. Instead of the man to focus on making money and putting his family in a good situation, he doesn't do that because he's not taught how to think or how to evaluate options. He goes with what feels good, and what feels good may be get a side chick. What feels good may be, I don't have time to take care of my wife because of all these problems of children this, children that. I don't have time. You see, so this point of thinking, this issue of thinking is very, very important, of thoughts. It's very, very important. You see, how can something so important be neglected in a school that's teaching someone how to become an important person in the future? You see, so this is what I want to really talk about. I think schools and teachers need to teach young people how to think. Not only how to think, how their thoughts influence their actions, how to evaluate their thoughts, and how to make the right decisions, how to think critically so they can make the right decisions for their lives, So I believe that's what I have to say on this issue. If you like this piece, you can share it, you can share it, and you can subscribe to our channel because we have good things always coming at you, something that will keep you thinking, something that's important, So on that note, I'm out. Have a good one. And it's still the Dark Prophet, and I'll keep bringing the good stuff to you. So just have a good one. Bye. See you later.